So you want to know what the greatest game ever is? I'm talking the cream of the crop. The Cardi B without the WAP. The OG of OGs. I'm talking about Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation 1.
Metal Gear.
This game is what happens when a fool takes a hit of the galaxy for too long. I'm talking Hideo Kojima in 1998 hitting the nitrous and being like,
I'm gonna make a game and it's gonna be the greatest game ever. I'm talking about ninjas, naked men, an anti-war message, and a nuclear-armed walking tank.
and the rest of the design team was just like,
Pass that shit!
so what I want to talk about is my experience with the game and why it's literally one of the greatest games of all time and why do they need to make this game into the next HBO series. Part 1, my experience. I remember back in 2003, my sister had a chola best friend named Christina.
Oh, hell no.
Christina had a young brother named Adrian, and he was your typical silver-toothed activities little brother. Me and him would go do bad shit after school, like steal candies from the pink liquor store, mob it around town in our Mongoose BMX bikes from Walmart, doing ding-dong ditch, just like your typical fucking menace attitude. Adrian had a hand-me-down PlayStation 1. It was the little slim model. I remember me and this fool would spend countless hours playing Spyro, Tony Hawk, Star Wars Enter the Phantom Menace. And we beat all the games that he had like 3 or 4 times already. Until one day, I just got bored. I asked him, yo, do you have another game that we could play? He looked at me like, almost like worried. He was just like,
yeah, I do, but it's kind of boring.
I was like, bring that shit, dude. So he brung it, and he brought it in a Payless shoebox. And what he pulled out of that Payless shoebox would alter the course of my life forever. It wasn't corn, all right? It was a greatest hits copy of Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1. We booted it up instantly, and I was blown away by the graphics and presentation. The game was like an anime and James Bond put together in one. It was bloody, it was weird, and it left me wanting way more. 2, story. All right. The story is really, really confusing, but let me break it down into basic foolology terms. In this game, you play as Solid Snake. He's a badass spec ops fool. He's like Rambo and John Wick, but with the intelligence of your drunk Theo at the carne asada. Snake is sent by Colonel Campbell to Shadow Moses Island in Alaska to save the DARPA chief and this other fool named Roy Baker. He tried to save both of these fools, but they die in like the most sus circumstances. They both die from a heart attack. After they die, you find out there's a Metal Gear, which is pretty much a nuclear-armed Mecha Godzilla.
Run! It's Godzilla!
You also find out that the island has been taken over by these spec op fools called Foxhound, with the leader of these fools being your jealous-ass, hating-ass op of a twin brother, Liquid Snake. Liquid, along with his homies from Foxhound, Revolver Ocelot, Raven, Sniper, woo, goddamn, Psycho Mantis, and Decoy Octopus. Snake, with the help of his nerdy-ass science fool Otacon and the fine-ass hyena Meryl, and the occasional help of this ninja fool, take on Foxhound. Your mission, so you choose to accept it, is to kill the ops and take down Metal Gear before these fools launch a nuke at Joe Byron. The story is innovative and it has a message of the use of nuclear weapons. Snake is really just a fool kind of forced to do this mission, and he finds out he's just kind of a disposable soldier. Later in the game, you find that the doctor and the colonel's staff turns out to be an op too. She ate your guts. You killed a brother. She injects you with this virus that's programmed to kill all the fools around you once you get close to him. It's called Fox Die. And on top of that, you find out that you and Liquid are clones of Big Boss, the legendary soldier fool. Gameplay. So the gameplay was solid, pun intended, but it was a little weird. The camera was fixed angle and sometimes it was awkward. And the enemy AI was ahead of its time. For 1998, that shit was innovative. These fools would see your footprints and be like,
huh? Whose footprints are these?
It had a goofy aiming system where I think you'd press like R1 or whatever to aim. It had a goofy melee system where you'd just spam circle and then your guy would go. It had a goofy inventory system where you'd stop time in mid-battle to swap weapons. And it had goofy items. They had, their health pack was a freaking pack of Maruchan. They called it a ration. But the weapons the weapons were fucking sick, dude. You had a SOCOM. You had a FAMAS before every camper in Call of Duty used that shit to death. You had a PSG-1 where you had to take Xanax to be steady with your aim. You had chaff grenades that disabled the cameras. You had a Nikita bazooka. It was like a bazooka that you could control the missile, kind of like a drone, like the ones that are flying over New Jersey. And my favorite, you had a Stinger missile. It was a bazooka that you pretty much used to destroy every other enemy in the game, like all the bosses, that's what you used. 4, impact. This game legit changed the face of gaming forever. It showed you that you can actually tell like a story, like a movie in a video game. And this fool Hideo Kojima did that shit back in 1998. I told you, it was the galaxy gas. This shit makes you do wild things. I don't care if this guy is weird or he posts weird shit on Instagram. I don't care that he scans the feed of all the models that are in his games. I don't care that this fool made UPS the game with Death Stranding. This little unk is the GOAT. The GOAT! Kojima! And he was able to fit this masterpiece of a game in 2 600 megabyte CD-ROMs. Call of Duty adds like 3 maps and 2 guns and it's like 150 gigabytes. Metal Gear Solid stands the test of time and its influence is felt throughout the gaming industry. That being said, they should make it into the next HBO show or something because, you know, they're doing video game adaptations left and right. After The Last of Us, you know, it might as well just get Pedro Pascal to play Solid Snake. Or maybe Oscar Isaac or something. Maybe George Lopez as the Colonel. Jenna Ortega as Meryl? No? No? Oh, okay. Anyways, I'm gonna go do unemployed shit. I'll catch you later. A cookie. A cookie, 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 cookie. I said cookie. A cookie. Tanaka.